what are the hybrid instruments? What are the risks and the opportunities?
So, hybrid capital instruments have recently been issued by many banks in the European banking universe. And they're the new form of capital which will be used to fulfill 1.5% of risk-weighted assets for their capital requirements. It can also be used as Tier 1 capital to fulfill the leverage ratio requirement, which will soon be phased in. Well, there are some risks involved with AT1 instruments that are very important for the investors that they should not neglect when they're investing in this new asset class that will replace those old-style Tier 1 instruments which lose regulatory eligibility in the near future. First of all, there's the risk of coupons being cancelled for the additional Tier 1 instruments. So the coupon of all those instruments is fully discretionary and is subject to the issuer. Basically, a bank can pay a dividend and does not have to pay a coupon on those AT1 instruments, and also bonus payments are involved in these payments. Then the additional risk is the possibility of converting the bond either into equity or having it completely be written down. This is based on the fact if the CET1 ratio falls below a certain trigger, which is set at a minimum of 5.125% of CET1 capital. It can also be set higher. For example, the UK and Swedish regulators have imposed harder CET1 capital requirements, for example, at 7 or 8% of CET1. In case such a trigger is reached, the AT1 will be either converted into equity or will either be permanently or partially written down. There's also the possibility of a temporary write-down. This can be written up again, but this is also the chances of writing up this instrument is quite limited in general. So the largest risk for investors is that they could be investing in a zero coupon perpetual bond, because all AT1 instruments are perpetual instruments that do have a call date, which will be the earliest 5 years after issuance, but could also be later.